joins me today with my lockdown haircut. I'm joined by Stevie, Farrell today, the Snore Manager. You've been the Snore Manager for over 3 years now. What's your highlight so far?
I think the highlight in my time at Stranraer in the 3 year has been the development of young players. I think if we take Angus Beath and I take Cammy McPherson and I take Ali McCann and I take Innes Cameron, and this year we had Carlo Pinatello. It's been excellent to take these young players at the early stages of their footballing career, their fledgling footballing career, and then develop them and try to develop them and work with the coaching team to develop them. When Angus Beath came as a sitting central midfield player, and we seen something in him that we wanted to try and develop into a more forward thinking player. And Angus went on to have an excellent time with Stranraer, but it was brilliant for the club. And then got a terrible injury, which was so disappointing for everybody. And then Cammy McPherson came in, and he found the opportunity to play competitive football, now a regular in St Murn's first team. And the same with Ali McCann, who people are talking about for the Young Player of the Year this year. I like the fact that at Stranraer Football Club we helped these lads on the road. And then Big Innes last year, all but for a bad injury, he's picked up this year back at Kilmarnock, and hopefully he's now over that. He can get back about the first team squad again and kick on as a young player, and we can see and hear about him next year and the year ahead. So, I think that's probably the highlight in terms of the only other thing is probably against the odds a wee bit is keeping the club in League One. Against a backdrop of a number of challenges we may add. We all know about them. They've been all well documented, spoken about. So, it's been difficult, it's been challenging, but very, very enjoyable and testing and finding a lot out about yourself as a manager and a management team.
Are you missing being at Stair Park?
I'm missing being at Stair Park. I'm missing my shoes, which I left there in the last game we played. So I got a brand new pair of shoes, and they're still under my desk in the manager's office. So I'm missing them. But in terms of missing Stranraer, I'm missing football in general. I don't think I'm the only one. I think all the players, the management team, the committee, the fans, everybody associated with Scottish football just now is missing that Saturday feeling, and missing those training nights in terms of your Tuesday, Thursday, and the build up to Saturday. And I think we all feel like that within the game, But you've got to try and think of what's more important at this time, and it's unprecedented what we're going through at this moment in time, and people's safety and well-being is paramount importance. And I don't say that it's no easy, it doesn't roll off the tongue, it's just fact. It's the most important thing throughout this is, in Stranraer FC, and every club will be the same, that as we come through this, we hope that everybody associated with the club, fans, management team, players, players as families, everybody associated with the club comes through this terrible time safe and well, and we can all get back to Stair Park and go and probably appreciate all that but more Saturday and football on a Saturday afternoon after such a harrowing time like this.
Thanks for that answer, Faz. If I come across your shoes, I'll send them up. What direction will you like the SPFL to take this season?
What direction would I like to see the SPFL take at this time in relation to the league? Well, I think it's well documented what my thoughts are on this. I just think we don't need to make a decision just now. I don't understand why there's this knee-jerk reaction to make a decision. It's nothing to do with money in terms of clubs' finances. I think that's a carrot been dangled to clubs, and I think it's been mixed in with an opportunity for the SPFL to railroad through what they probably see as the desired outcome. Obviously, I'm recording this on Thursday before the day of the vote. I hope the vote in terms of sport integrity tomorrow is rejected, and I hope the SPFL get a clear message that they need to come up with something more innovative and moving the league forward and moving this difficult time forward. I don't have anything against MD at the SPFL for their proposals. I just don't think that you come in such a terrible time and difficult time where Scottish football is looking for answers. Everybody in Scottish football is looking for answers, and you put one proposal on the table. I think for an organisation as big as the SPFL, the credibility of the SPFL, I think that's quite ridiculous actually. I think there should be an alternative. And again, I've said it before, I think SPFL are leaving themselves wide open to criticism, where it's a knee-jerk reaction and a lack of a thought process that has come up with this one and only proposal for clubs to decide on. I think, and I hope it's rejected tomorrow, Friday. And if it is rejected, then it gives us that opportunity and that time, because we're not doing anything. They're unlikely we're going to play football again. Does it need to be an absolute definitive answer for the season coming up next season? I don't think it does. I think we're in such an unprecedented position that it's maybe a time for us to put in place a temporary measure next year where nobody's at a detriment. There is no relegation. Teams like Kelty or Brora Rangers or Bonnyrigg Rose, whoever that may well be, are given the opportunity, as the pyramid system allows, to come up into the leagues. The Dundee Uniteds and your Cove Rangers and your Falkers and your Wraith Rovers are given an opportunity, even as far as your Airdries and your Edinburgh Cities and your Cowdenbeaths, all the teams that's in playoffs. For one season only, put these teams up, keep the prize money at the end of the year to the Premier League clubs, who are not going to lose any money. Let the teams that are promoted just receive what their placings would have been for the position they left in this season. And for 1 year only, if we do that, it then gives you the SPFL and all the stakeholders the opportunity between August, starting August and through to May next year, a real opportunity to sit round a table and come up with the best possible plan for it will then be 2021-22. I think that's probably the best solution, that we look at a short-term fix, and then in that interim period of next season and through next season, that 9 or 10 month, have that real meaningful dialogue to ensure that we get a medium to longer term fix that suits the majority of clubs. That's personally what I would do, but I suppose that's probably a wee bit too radical and easy thinking for us to come up with in Scotland, I'm sorry to say.
Have you started putting plans in place for next season?
Have we started planning for next year? I think you've got to. I think it's a difficult time. It's a challenging and it's an uncertain time, for everybody and for any manager. But I think every single manager in Scotland will be in some way trying to plan for next season, whether that's with their existing squad or looking to add and looking at new faces that can improve your squad. And I think it would be remiss of any manager not to do that. What we can't do is, because we don't have a definitive date or time, whether that be a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, a month, 2 months, we can't just press the button when that happens and then react, because we must do our homework, we must try and do our groundwork. I refer to it as due diligence in terms of players and bringing players to the club, because you've got to bring any player to the club. First of all, the deal's got to be right for them, but secondly, you've got to make them feel wanted. You've got to make them sell the club to them, and you've got to make them feel as if they're going to be part of that. And there's a number of conversations you've got to have in that. It's not just a case of phoning a player on a Monday night and the deal happens the next day. That's not how it works. And so there's a lot of work and a lot of groundwork's got to go into it, and it normally does start a bit now for next season. So we're trying to do that the best we possibly can. As I say, there's so many anomalies this year that we've never had previously for obvious reasons. But we'll continue to work hard. We'll continue to plan ahead with Chris, Frank, and Eric, and we'll hopefully have a decent stab at building a squad for next year, both with some of our current group and also with one or two new faces added, regardless of what league we find ourselves in relation to the SPFL decision.
Who was your idol growing up?
Who's my idol growing up? I don't think I had one individual idol. I think I've always admired people who win and then want to win again and again and again. And I speak to the players about that regular, about top players. I don't think you're a top player for any other reason that you're a complete and utter winner. If you look at Roy Keane's and Ryan Giggs and Gary Neville's of this world, Graham Souness, Kenny Dalglish, all the teams that won, season after season, serial winners, every single time that they won, it seemed like the first time. you know, that time they previously was never enough for them, and they just wanted more and more. And I always admired people like that, because it would be easy when you've got all the riches and all the trappings that come with being a top player, and you've won so much, for to rest in your laurels and just get into a comfort zone. But you know, these people never ever did, and you know, I have the greatest admiration for people like that, because it takes a strong mentality to continue to want it again and again. And you know, they're the kind of people probably that I look up to most in the sporting world.
You played with Stoke when you were younger. Did you play with anybody famous?
I was asked this question recently about who was the most famous player I played with while at Stoke City, and you know, I think he wasn't the most famous player, but he's went on to probably become the most famous person. Was Chris Kamara. You know, Chris was an honest pro, a very good pro, had a good career with Stoke City and Leeds United and you know, other teams, and did very well. But probably more so now in terms of his TV antics as he became a household name. So you know, delighted for Chris, because even although you know, I was a young kid at the time, he always had time for the young players, and he always came and spoke to us, and know every senior player did that. So I always remember him for that. So you know, I'm delighted to see that he's now went on to have the great TV career that he's having. You know, both in the sporting world and the entertainment world.
Unbelievable, Fuzz! What's the best advice any manager has given you?
What's the best advice any manager's ever given me? I think probably a long time ago, Alan Ball once told me that the secret of being a manager is never get carried away in the good times, and never get too despondent in the bad times, because the one thing that's absolutely certain in football is that those times will come, good and bad, and you could be in the crest of a wave for so long, and you can get carried away with that. But there's always a time where you come crashing down off of that wave. So it's I always remember him telling me that, and he stood by that advice for himself and his own management career. So it's always something I've remembered and carried with me. And I think you know, on the whole, I'm like that. I don't think I get too carried away. And you know, when we have good periods in a season, good results in a season, and I don't think I get too despondent when it goes the other way. I think you've just got to try and get that balance. I think you've always got to come in and try and be upbeat with the players regardless, and keep the players' spirits as high as you possibly can. And if you're moping around and feeling sorry for yourself, and you know, letting others impact with their negativity around about you, then that's going to impact on the team that you manage. So you know, it was good words, honest words, and words that I've tried to carry with me.
What's your ambition for the future?
What's my ambition for the future? I think in football, any part-time manager would tell you that they would have an ambition to manage full-time. I would just like to get the opportunity to test myself at full-time football. I think I would enjoy the coaching element. I would enjoy being on the pitch and on the grass every day of the week with players. That's the part I enjoy most. I really, you know, look forward to that. I look forward to taking players, trying to develop players, trying to put sessions and training sessions on for players that are a wee bit different, and you know, and that's not always easy, because you know, particularly your experienced players, you've got to keep them motivated, and players will always tell you, you know, whether you're a good coach or whether they enjoy your training. So that's a challenge, and that's something, you know, the senior players will always tell you at every club they've been at, you know, whether the training's good, bad or indifferent. So it's important that you try to keep players motivated. So I enjoy that aspect. I enjoy that, trying to ensure that training is upbeat and good, in the sessions that we put on are planned meticulously so that they enjoy it, and with opposition in mind. I think the biggest thing about going full time would be the resources available to you. You know, you'd obviously have bigger squads of players to work with. You'd better resources due to finances at any full time football club, and it would be good to go and test myself to see, with those resources and you know, at your disposal, whether I'd be able to be successful. Some may say you would be, some may say you won't, you know. But the reality is, being at part time is got its challenges, and I think being at full time employment's got its challenges. But it's certainly, you know, I've been about part time senior football now for about 8 or 9 years, both with coaching and managing, and I would like that opportunity at some point to go full time and test myself in that environment.
What person would you most like to meet, and why?
Who would I most like to meet and why? I don't think I'm really a person that has got a desire to meet MD. Names don't really mean a lot to me. I don't get awestruck with people like that. I really don't. I'm quite happy with my own circle of friends and people I trust. But if you're to put me on the spot, then I'd probably like to meet the cast of Only Fools and Horses. It's probably my favourite TV show. It's where I find some laughter and humour that I totally resonate with and always have done. So I'd like to sit, have a cup of coffee with David Jason and Nicholas Lyndhurst and just talk about the times they were making that programme, because it's brought me many a laugh out of the year, I've got to say, and probably most of the country also.
Who's the funniest player in the team?
The funniest player in the team, I think there's a few candidates for different reasons. I think Jordan Allen is possibly the thickest. I don't think there's many run him close. I think you've got Ryan Stevenson, who's larger than life and has came in, and obviously I've worked with Ryan previously, so I know everything about the man, and he's a funny lad. His one-liners are good, and then you've got Jinky, who's ever at it. Ever at it. You hear the wisecracks, in the training field. You hear it in the dressing room, and for what I'm told, he's very, very popular and funny within the players. When obviously the management team's no insight. So probably James Hilton's is the lad and the cheeky chappy that keeps them all going in the dressing room, I'm told.
Who's the worst dresser at the club?
Who's the worst dresser? I probably don't. I don't see the players out with their club tracksuit. Obviously, I don't go in nights out as a first team coach. I used to get invited to them, but when you become a manager, you don't no longer get invited to them, and rightly so. So that's players' time. So I probably don't see them in their fancy dresses, such in their Saturday night gear. So I probably couldn't tell you from a player point of view. I think the chairman runs everybody close. I think Ian Dugan's got one or two suits that would probably make the hairs in the back of your neck stand up. So for the management team's point of view, and the committee's point of view, I think probably we would go with Ian Dugan, the chairman. I think Cosmo is good for a loud suit, and he's wore one or two in his time, I've got to say.
I know you work in the prison. Which North player will you like to lock up and why?
Who would I like to see locked up in prison? I think there's one or two candidates. I'll probably restrict it to three. I think I would love to see Jordan Allen. That would be interesting, very interesting to see Jordo in a prison for a day or 2 days. First of all, I don't know what to do without phoning Tiff. Tiff tells me he's on the phone constantly. He's probably the most paranoid boy I've ever met in my life. But great lad, great player, love having him at the club. But certainly would love to see him in prison for a day or two. That would be really interesting. Scott Robertson, I've never seen an angrier lad in my life. Again, I love him to bits, and I would take him to the trenches and take him anywhere I went, and try to take him anywhere I went. Scott Robbo, but he's an angry lad, and it would be interesting to see him with that anger within a prison environment, to see how he would adapt. And the last one would be probably Jinky, with that cheeky chappy, but I know this is a family. Families watch this video and this on Facebook, so I'll be careful what I say and I'll leave it to your imagination. But it would be interesting to see how Jinky would adapt to prison life and how prisoners would adapt to Jinky, and I think I'll probably just leave it at that.
Thanks for joining me today, Faz. Best of luck for the rest of the season. And everybody, please remember to like and subscribe. Bye.